Indian motorsport never had it so good. We have a second Indian driving in Formula 1. We have an Indian team that's doing extremely well in Formula 1. And at home, we have a number of racing series that are alive and kicking. In June, we'll have the Volkswagen Polo Cup, a single-make series to give budding enthusiasts an avenue to showcase their talent. And if those budding enthusiasts want to take racing seriously, well, we have an international spec Formula single-seater. And that's the car we're going to drive today. So what's special? Well, this is no cobbled at home single-seater. It's an international spec Van Diemen chassis built by J. Anand in Coimbatore. There's a modern space frame design with proper full-length aerodynamic wings front and rear. And it looks gorgeous. A purposeful racing car with genuine high-quality finish. Not only is it India's fastest single-seater, but also the most sophisticated, with Bilstein pushrod dampers, adjustable anti-roll bars, and full data logging with readouts on the Pi dash on the detachable steering wheel. Now I've driven everything at the Chennai racetrack. Diesel Indicars, supercars, AMG Mercs, Lamborghinis, Porsches. I've even ridden superbikes. But I've never had to stretch or exercise before driving a car. And that's because this is the real deal. This is no AMG supercar where you turn on the air conditioning, put the dampers in sport mode and drive. This demands mental strength and physical strength. You need to be fit to drive these cars. No wonder chicks dig Formula 1 drivers. Now the last single-seater I drove was the Formula Roll-On almost 3 years ago. And I was a lot thinner back then. It took time then for the mechanics to get me strapped down while MRF's chief mechanic ran me through the car's systems. And then it was time to hit the tarmac and put my foot down. Except in Chennai, the heat kills you before you even get started.
I can't even talk, there's so much sweat dripping into my mouth. No air conditioning in a Formula racer. Of course it's all open, but at Madras in the heat and the humidity, my God, I have newfound respect for racers.
The Formula MRF runs Ford's 1.6-litre 4-cylinder twin-cam engine from the Fiesta. It makes around 120 horsepower because it doesn't have an exhaust, no catalytic converters and a free-flow intake. And obviously it doesn't meet BS4 emission norms. But hey, who needs BS4 emission norms on a racetrack? Now 120 horsepower might not sound like much, but because this car, with the engine, with all fluids and with fuel, weighs under 500 kilos, well the power-to-weight ratio is excellent. Do the math, that makes this an extremely quick car around the racetrack. And to put all that power down, the engine is made into an expensive piece of hardware, a Hewland racing gearbox.
With a sequential gearbox, 5 speeds, apart from putting it in the first, you don't need the clutch. So just bang it up the box, bang it down the box. Of course, it needs strength in the right arm to bang it up the box and down.
MRF's engineers say that the C1 corner can be taken flat out in 5th gear because there's so much grip available. But I'm not feeling particularly brave today, especially since even at the speeds I'm doing, I'm discovering bumps I didn't know existed.
You'd expect the main sensation in a Formula racer would be the speed, but actually it is the braking. The sheer retardation on this single-seater, my goodness, it takes a breath away. And of course it's allied to really grippy MRF race rubber, so the grip on offer is also incredible. And the second is obviously handling, the speed that you can carry through corners. In fact, the body struggles to adjust to the speed, to fight the G-forces.
So when you brake, your helmet goes bang against the front. It's such an intense experience, and the bumps, it can really throw the car around. So you're fighting the steering wheel, you're fighting to hold it, your legs are fighting the G-forces, and all the while you have to be thinking, your mind has to be working, you need to be looking at the next corner, you need to hit the apex, you need to feather the throttle. It needs a lot of work and it needs a lot of stamina. In the Lamborghini, well, I could drive all day, put the AC on and you could drive all day. In this, after 10 laps, you're physically shattered.
but I really do need to mention just how easy it is to drive. Of course, for a skilled driver. There's no nervousness in the car, no awkward weight balance. It's neutral, communicative, and to a degree, very predictable. Only once did the tail snap out, but ease off the gas, a dab of corrective lock, and I was pointing back in the right direction.
Now thankfully I didn't need this today, but I had a great time driving this. I've driven a lot of Formula single-seater racers, but this has to be the best single-seater race car I have driven. And this is what Indian racing needs. If young Indian racers are to cut their teeth and develop their talent before going to international racing series, they need a car like this and they need a series like this. You really have to compliment MRF for doing such a series and for investing their money, but now what's required is for manufacturers to come in and increase the popularity of the sport. Are you listening?